with money. I'm Sam Smith, senior sales professional and master at the craft of making money. I am really excited about this episode. Episode 3 is going to be about credit cards and how to use them. I'm going to give you a plan on how to use a credit card. So the first approach that we have to consider is get out of your mind the concept of I'm going to pay for it now, or purchase it now rather, and pay for it later. Completely remove that from your whole understanding of what a credit card is, because that's the trap. And if you listen to anything that I'm saying as we go on this journey, I'll always say, and I can be quoted, money can either free you or trap you. And the reason why people get trapped with credit cards is because they fall for the concept of I'm going to, buy it now and pay for it later. The real strategy that you should have with credit cards are two things. Credit cards should pay for your vacation, whether it be from hotel points, airline points, or cash back. And that's the only way you should be using credit cards. Any other way is how you'll get yourself trapped in high interest rates and payments that you'll take forever to pay back. But the good thing about those credit cards that have those point systems and those airline systems is, think about it like this. You're just making purchases and you're accumulating points. I don't know about you, but I live in the Midwest. And in the Midwest, our winters are brutal. But I would tell anyone, in order to get through our winters, be able to get away for like a week, somewhere where it's, the climate is warmer and sunshine is plentiful. Whether that be California, Phoenix, Florida, one of those places where that winter is not going to be an issue. So what you do is throughout the year, as you're making those purchases, you're accumulating those points, and you allow those points to add up to the end of the year. But you have some credit cards that you can establish now, and they'll give you bonus points if you spend X amount of dollars the first 2 or 3 months. So again, that's an opportunity for you to go on that vacation. With cash back, it's the same thing. You find a credit card that allows you to get cash back. Now the beautiful thing about cash back is you can use it for so many different things. I mean, I'm not crazy about Christmas and how we spend everything for Christmas, but just imagine if you just made purchases throughout the year and you allowed that cash back bank to accumulate to the point where you can at least pay for something for Christmas, if not cover the entire Christmas. And the thing is implementing this discipline allows you to be in a situation where not only are you not putting yourself in debt and ultimately being trapped by the credit card, but you're also establishing good credit. Making your payments on time with credit cards is a great way to establish good credit. And if you come with the strategy of, I'm going to use my credit card to sponsor my vacation, or I'm going to use my credit card to get me cash back to, pay off a bill at the end of the year to cover Christmas, there's no reason why you should ever be in a situation where you're paying your credit card late. Because again, it's not about how you're purchasing it now and pay for it later. We have to change that mentality. So when you're using the credit card, we have to be strategic. We have to make purchases within our cycles. And we have to either have the money that we're going to spend or have that money already made in your pipeline. So it's money you've already made, and maybe you're not getting it until next week. But we're not gonna swipe cards for money we don't have. It's gonna take discipline. If you really want to strengthen your financial foundation, you have to have discipline. And I read a quote once that said, the disciplined are truly free. And I do believe in that. So if we're only making those purchases, even if you have to wait till after the cycle, it's better to wait till after your cycle than to put yourself in a situation where you're gonna be paying a high interest rate. When you think about that interest rate that they have on paying a late fee, it's designed for you to put yourself in a situation where you're gonna dig yourself out of a hole. But if you make the focus about, I'm only going to use my credit card to sponsor this vacation. And when I say sponsor this vacation, I've been to Tulum, I've been to Maui, I've been to Honolulu, all on hotel points. I'm a huge fan of Marriott. I love their hotel chain. So my credit card is tied to that. I get 6 points per dollar I spend. I let that accumulate to the end of the year. And this March, I was able, especially if you have a spouse, if you're someone who has a spouse who travels for work, you guys get the opportunity to combine those points and go on really nice trips. I mean, to think about the fact that I went to Tulum and all I paid was $46, which was the taxes for the 5 days that I was staying there. I mean, wouldn't that help with discipline? You know, if you knew that, okay, I want to go on a vacation at the end of the year, right? And the only thing I have to worry about really is that flight and entertainment and food. I mean, like, that should help with the discipline. That should help the most with not allowing yourself to go in debt with this credit card, and most importantly, not paying that, you know, not allowing that credit card payment to be late. You know, you don't want to pay a late credit card fee. Like, the thing is with that, that's the trap. So, but if we're focusing on allowing ourselves to, we're only going to focus on vacation, or we're only going to focus on cash back, and we're going to have a plan for that, it makes having a credit card like one of the best tools in your kit. It really does. Because again, like I said, it's I know a lot of people, you know, especially on social media sites, you have people, you know, promoting fixing their credit. But if you're someone who plans your purchases and always pay your bill on time, you know, credit essentially is debt to income ratio. So if you're making that payment every month, then where's the debt that you're carrying over? So because of that, the credit bureau is going to report positive reports that will go into your favor. So again, I think if we want to really focus on not allowing ourselves to fall for the trap that comes with credit cards, we have to change our approach with those credit cards. We have to have a plan that I've given you with those credit cards, and we have to see that through. Again, it's really about discipline. You know, that's the biggest thing with the credit cards. But if you allow yourself to practice the discipline that comes with that, it's a lot of rewards for that. You know, like, I mean, when I think about my trip to Tulum, it was one of the best experiences I ever had. And when I think about what I would have paid had I came out of my pocket with that, it would have been far more expensive than the time. I mean, well, when you think about it, maybe because I'm making all these transactions out the year, it kind of, you know, one hand washes the other. But if I'm just making transactions for what I need, and in return for my loyalty with this, you know, establishment, this financial institution I'm with, which is Amex, you know, they're gonna, you know, they come to the agreement that Marriott's gonna give me 6 points per dollar. Like, you know, even I'm going to be strategic about the purchases that I make. So I do accumulate. And what's good about it is, like, even if you were to accumulate something like 80,000 points for the whole year, I mean, it might not get you, you know, the 5-star hotel, but still, you may get one of those, you know, more family-friendly hotels, which means, you know, you can forget about getting in the pool, but more importantly, you don't have to pay for that hotel. You know, you got all that off points, and you're disciplined throughout the year. So it's kind of like a system where you're being rewarded for your discipline. You know, because I mean, what does it mean to have a bunch of points but at the same time you have a high balance that you need to pay off? It's kind of even hard to even be happy about that situation, to be happy about the points that you're accumulating when you have debt that you're carrying and an interest rate that is constantly drowning you every month. But if you practicing discipline, you know, only making purchases that you have money for, or you made, or you're being disciplined and saying, okay, I'm gonna put this purchase off until the next cycle to give myself more time because I still have to pay off what I spent during a cycle. Practicing that discipline and rewarding yourself at the end of the year with the points that you've accumulated, I feel like it's a win-win. No one loses from that. But we lose when we say, I'm gonna focus on purchasing this now and paying for it later. Again, let's have a strategy for credit cards. Credit cards are not a bad thing. It's so many good points that you can get from utilizing a credit card the way I'm explaining it to it. And I'm not just telling you this is something that I apply. You know, I apply this same approach. That's why I'm willing to tell you, and I know firsthand the beauty of having a strategy when you use a credit card. Again, my name is Sam Smith. The next episode I'd like to talk to you guys about, and what we're going to talk about, is building your financial foundation with your emergency funds. I'm going to teach you how to build up an emergency fund, a great source for building up an emergency fund, and ultimately preparing yourself for emergencies. Again, my name is Sam Smith, senior sales professional and master of the craft of making money. let's be smart with money.